We are hurtling toward the day when climate change could be irreversible.
Rising sea levels already altering this nation's coast.
China's capital is choking in its worst pollution of the year.
5% of species will become extinct.
Sea levels rising, glaciers melting.
Does pollution affect your health? This, for 64% of people have stated yes, which is very alarming because it's more than 50%. And the remaining 12% have stated no. So from this, we can actually know that many people have suffered deeply due to the effect of climate change. So basically, question 5 is actually a continuation to question 4. Our 60% respondents who have said yes to question 4 actually have responded to question 5 as well. They have stated that greenhouse effect, global warming, weather changing such as increasing global temperature, acid rain, and finally the animals' health such as their visibility and also not forgetting the plants' growth actually are affecting the people's health. Climate change has a very severe impact on health animal, especially in turtles. Okay, how does consumption of plastic affect the lives of turtle? Okay, let's say actually plastic they're non-degradable and they take a long period of time to actually degrade. If I'm not mistaken, it's over 100 plus years to degrade a single spot of plastic. So eventually the consumption of plastic, which increases by the seashores, because beaches are actually a very good tourist attractions. So these plastics used to get washed up to the beach, and turtles, they assume that plastics look like jellyfish as they consume it. So when they consume it, it actually chokes their innards, which eventually lead them to suffocation and they literally die. Question number 6 would be, we have asked people that they have experienced any float phenomena in the past 5 years. 28% of people have responded yes, while the remaining 72% have responded no, which is slightly contradicting with our idea, with our perception of the effect it has in due to climate changes globally. So okay, let's take a look about the deforestation. Deforestation happens due to the urban development or to the greediness of most of the politicians. Even though we have adequate amount of development such as enough space for schools, hospitals, building government infrastructure, but these people, I don't know why they still want to build a lot of infrastructure by clearing the trees, which are one of the major contributors of oxygen to this. Mass burning of Amazon rainforest, which is ideally known as our storehouse of 20% of oxygen, which it gives to the earth. So this kind of things is really saddening, and we people have to realize and have these things serious so that earth doesn't extinct with humans' utter stupidity.
Apart from that, how important is the climate change issue for all of us? Based on our statistics, about 26% out of 50 respondents respond that the climate change issue is quite important for them. This may be due to their ignorance of the effect of the climate change that clearly occur in now. In this generation, news can be spread easily, and the current issue right now is on climate change. Based on our survey, about 88% of the respondents have heard about the climate change issue. Another remaining respondents have not heard and even don't know about this issue. As we all know, this issue can be spread through various mediums. Based on our findings, 45 out of 50 people respond that they can obtain this information through the internet. About 30 people respond that they know about the climate change issue television, which we can watch it on documentaries and news. Surprisingly, there was only one people that obtained the information regarding the climate change issue through nature exhibition. So we can conclude here that most people nowadays can obtain the information easily through mass media such as television, newspaper, radio, and internet. For this question, only 40 respondents that respond to this question. Some of them mentioned that the Earth nowadays are facing abnormal climate change, which they are referred to the wind or to the unusual wind or weather patterns. Okay, I can give you an example. In Malaysia, we have southwest monsoon and northeast monsoon that occur in May until September and October until March respectively. But nowadays, this season sometimes didn't occur in the right period. Causes of the climate change are dangerous gas emission. For an example, carbon monoxide, nitrous oxide, and methane are being emitted. And lastly, poor waste management can also lead to climate change. For an example, in March 2019, one of the factories in Pasir Gudang illegally dumped chemical waste into the Kim Kim River, which affected the whole resident and the school children involved in the area.
So, as my group members said, CO2 emission is one of the major cause for the climate change. So, where does this cause came from? Cause I guess it's from the transportation. So, if you see diesel cost or petrol cost, they emit lot of CO2 nowadays. So, to avoid this, we need to better start using public transportation. We might be able to tackle this climate change by decreasing the usage of two-wheelers or four-wheelers in our houses. And for an alternative, we got to use our public transportation. So there are a lot of non-governmental organizations and some environmental organizations to help us to tackle this climate change during some necessary situations. So they can give us a clear chart about what is going on, what is happening, and they can give us we can join them and we can tackle the climate change together. So from our survey, if we see means many youngsters, so 16 to 24, age of 16 to 24 has responded. So this shows that they are more concerned about our climate change, and the others were not so concerned. And the more important thing is this age group of people, degree graduates. So I just want to clear something else. Our older generation left us a peaceful environment, and I hope we can do so for our future generation.
According to our survey, 75% of them said yes, climate change does affect them personally, and the others 15% either said no or I don't know. This is readily an awkward answer because climate change has been a global issue around the world, and we are managing to tackle it. So this, in my opinion, everyone should be aware of climate change. Everything should be responsible for tackling climate change. It begins with us. According to our climate survey, 66% of them said the individuals are responsible for tackling climate change. There are several ways that can be done to tackle climate change, and the respondents has been giving very good answers on the survey, such as lessen the carbon dioxide emission. That means use the public transportation often, and also build better and friendly environment factories so that the pollution does not go straight to the air that we are breathing. And then we can also recycle. Did I mention recycle? Yes, we should recycle often. These are more ways that we can tackle climate change. We can reuse biodegradable materials. We can recycle, as I mentioned before. We can reduce waste and also we can educate the community about climate change as we taught them in school, so that it can begin at such young age for them to recycle more, to reuse more, and also to use more public transportation. Start by thinking that you can make a difference no matter how small the scale is. Look around us. The trees are burning to ground, the birds are dying, the animals are dying, the air that we breathe are polluted with the pollutions. So it begins with us. We should plant more trees, we should recycle more, and more importantly, we should educate our mindset for the better generations.
To conclude everything, climate change is one of the important things in our world right now, and it is one of the major problems that we have. But we as human beings aren't doing our best effort into tackling this issue. There are a lot of things that we could do actually in tackling this problem. One of the things that we could do is involving more in campaigns, go green campaigns, nature campaigns such as planting trees, or help saving the turtle. That is one of the things that we could actually involve in, and it is very easy because there have been a lot of campaigns outside of your university. Apart from that, we could actually utilize things at home by implementing the 3 R's: reduce, recycle, and reuse. Therefore, as a responsible human being, I suggest and encourage all of you to join hands together with us and tackle the climate change. This is to make the world a better place. And Dr. Abjad, let's go and tackle the world together.